Hello friends, and welcome to the Empty Your Bucket Nutrition Plan channel. My name is JT Tapias and I'm a professional fitness life coach, and today we're going to be speaking about fitness discipline goals. One of those things that most of us have a really hard time incorporating as a lifestyle. Now, one of the reasons I truly believe this is challenging for most people is because of what we tell ourselves fitness can actually do for us. Let me explain. The vast majority of us think that going to the gym, working out, and eating properly is an aesthetic destination, meaning we are there to create a body, to build a body, to eat a certain way, to build muscles, and to look a certain way. And to a very small percent, this is true. I truly believe that the main reason that we actually embrace physiology is because we want to perform better in different areas. Our brain doesn't tell us that. We are very fixated on the first thing we see, which is the aesthetic destination. But I truly believe that strength training makes all effort feel good. Okay, I'm gonna explain this throughout this entire video. And I believe that physical movement helps testosterone secretion. Testosterone is what makes effort feel good. So if you have high testosterone levels, if you are secreting large amounts of testosterone because you're physically active, because you're activating your physiology, you're eating the right nutrients, you're sleeping well, you're hydrating well, and testosterone levels are normal to high, most likely effort is going to feel good. Now, this is interesting because when we hear effort, the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, I'm gonna lift heavier weights, or I'm gonna do better at the gym, or I'm gonna build more muscle. And yes, all those things can be true, but what I'm speaking about in terms of effort is effort in all areas of life. When I started working out many years ago, I noticed that I wasn't just excelling physically, but that I was actually doing better in different areas that I had struggled in the past. I was a really bad student growing up, and all of a sudden I started to retain more. I started to want to read more. I started to want to write more. And I truly believe it all came as a byproduct of actually incorporating fitness and proper nutrition into my life. Because how we do anything is how we do everything. And so I started to excel in this area and sort of calm down this ADD brain of mine. And all of a sudden I was able to sit down, read, absorb, retain, and get smarter, and actually be able to start incorporating some of those things into my life. And you're gonna hear me talk about success breeds inspiration. When you're successful, when things are moving in the right direction, you have the motivation and the desire to continue to do those things. And so I started to get better physically. I started to retain more. I started to learn more things. I started to have more engaging conversations with people of all different walks of life. And I was like, okay, this is new, this feels good. And my brain continued to embrace it. Anytime that we have a forward movement, right, this creates momentum, enthusiasm. The brain wants to repeat anything that is likable. Anything that your brain likes, your brain's gonna wanna repeat it over and over and over again. So if you start, all of a sudden you start losing weight because you're eating right and you're going to the gym and you're doing that consistently, and you look in the mirror and you look great, you feel good. And people start complimenting you, your brain starts to reward that particular activity. And so the same happens with all areas of life. If you are actually activating your physiology, eating the right nutrients, and all of a sudden you notice that when you study, you actually retain more, and you can link that back to movement and proper nutrition, guess what? You're gonna reinforce that activity over and over and over again because it feels good to the brain. This is why I say that movement secretes testosterone. Testosterone makes effort feel good, not just in the gym, but in all areas of life. So I'm here to say this. I'm here to say that if you are stagnated in your relationship, in your career, in life in general, you're just in a funk. You want to get out of that funk and you don't know how to do it. Maybe you just got out of a relationship. Maybe you just lost your job, or maybe you're looking for just a new employment, new career, and you don't know where to start. Of course, as a professional fitness life coach, the thing I'm going to tell you to do is embrace fitness and proper nutrition, but not for the reason that most coaches would tell you to do so. I'm telling you because I have experienced personal development in all areas of my life, applying these principles of physical movement and proper nutrition, and I've seen all other areas of my life excel because, as I said earlier, how we do anything is how we do everything. So here's what I'm gonna recommend. Number one, I'm gonna say that first thing in the morning, right? I want you to walk for 25 minutes. Notice that I'm not even saying lift weights or get into this routine or do this type of resistance training. None of that stuff. If you're not there yet, if you're just getting started, you're looking to get out of stagnation, you're looking to get out of a funk, go for a 25-minute walk. And I want you to consistently do that for a whole week, right? Just 25 minutes. You don't have to be out of breath. You don't have to sweat. You don't have to hurt. We're just getting accustomed to this routine of 25 minutes of walking. The following week, that may increase to 35, 45, and eventually 1 hour. What's gonna happen if you walk on Monday is that on Tuesday, you're gonna have extra energy. And then all of a sudden, you start moving into bigger and better things. Maybe at that point, you decide, okay, you know what? On my days off from walking, I'm actually gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna start lifting weights. And so Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, now you're lifting weights. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're doing your walks. As a byproduct of that, number 2, because you've been putting this effort in walking and training, all of a sudden now you have a desire to eat well, because you sit there and you start to rationalize and think, well, I just spent 45 minutes or an hour walking or working out. I'm not going to eat this burger. I want to eat something healthy. And you start becoming more aware and more conscious of the things that you're eating. So now all of a sudden you've incorporated movement, you've incorporated proper nutrition. And as a byproduct of that, what happens, my friend, when you start bringing the right kind of nutrients, the right kind of oxygen into your brain, you start having better ideas, what I call anabolic ideas. You start to think better. When you start to think better, you start to feel better. When you start to feel better, you start to have positive actions in your life. And then it's this spiral of doing well. And this, my friend, is how fitness and proper nutrition become the discipline that you can make into a lifestyle, and you can bring all your goals to fruition. Whereas before, it was so hard because you were telling yourself the wrong story about fitness and proper nutrition. Now you can see it as a lever, something that's gonna push you in the direction of your dreams and your goals, and you're gonna be able to tackle different areas of your life simply by incorporating fitness and proper nutrition. Guys, this is simple but powerful if you incorporate it. I promise it'll work. It worked for me, it's worked for many of my clients, and I know it can work for you, but of course, we have to put it into action. Guys, if you enjoyed that video, I think you're absolutely gonna love this one here. My name is JT Tapias with the Empty Your Bucket Nutrition Plan. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so that we can hang out in these videos and I can pass on some of this awesome information that I know will take you to the next level if you actually put it into action. Talk to you guys soon. Ciao, ciao.